Before we begin, we would like to remind all listeners of the podcast that there are themes of mental health issues and mentions of suicide and self harm, which may be triggering for some individuals. Viewer discretion is advised. Good day, everyone! And I hope you're just as eager as I am today as we're going on air for the second episode of Speak Out 2021. I'm Wami Ona, sometimes funny but mostly just corny third year student studying BS Psychology.
And Manahan, coffee lover that's smooth as butter from 2BS Health Sciences. We are now live on Ateneo's feed social media pages. But before we start, let's take this time to get comfortable right now. Today, we are excited to have a very interesting and engaging discussion with our guest speakers.
We would like to remind everyone watching that the live stream has live captions. You can turn them on through the process being shown on your screen.
So, get comfortable. Now it's time for us to give a bit of an introduction to Speak Out 2021. Speak Out is a podcast series that delves into the stories and experiences of the guest speakers. The project aims to embody the value of inclusivity and become an avenue for different stakeholders to have genuine discussions about issues in the sector.
Yup, that's right, Camilla. Last episode, our guests were the family members of PWDs, where they share their challenges, adjustments, as well as their advice to other caregivers. For today's episode, we will be joined by our guest speakers with non-apparent disabilities, who will share their experiences of overcoming their difficulties, as well as dealing with the misconceptions that they have experienced or observed firsthand. So, with that said, let us welcome our speakers for today.
Okay. Welcome! It's nice to meet you all. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us today. Now, I would just like to remind everyone that this roundtable discussion is a safe space, so make sure to share only what you're comfortable sharing. We also encourage you to keep your mics unmuted if possible so that we can have a free flowing discussion where you can feel free to chime in.
All right, so now would it be all right to ask for each of the speakers to introduce themselves a bit to everyone? And if you're comfortable with the non-apparent disability that you may have as well.
Okay. Nick, you go first.
Okay. Hi everyone, I'm Nicole Daniel Eijansantos, but you can just call me Nick. And I was diagnosed with type 1 bipolar disorder secondary to seizure disorder.
Okay. My turn? Okay. My name is Angela Gutierrez. I'm already working, not a student. And I was diagnosed with 4 disorders. It was major depressive disorder, anxiety disorder, seizure disorder, and PTSD.
All right, so it's nice to meet you, Nick and Angela. So
Nice to meet you too.
yeah. So for our first question, either of you can answer first, but what changes have occurred from when you were first diagnosed to right now currently?
Nick, you can go first.
I was diagnosed kasi with bipolar disorder and seizure disorder ng September of year 2019. But prior to that, na-diagnose na rin ako with major depressive and anxiety disorder with hallucinations. Yun yung time na we didn't know yet na may seizure disorder pala ako until I had this incident sa Blue Eagle Gym wherein I collapsed, and when I woke up, I couldn't remember anything or anyone, including myself. Bale, I had temporary amnesia for more than a month and had to take a gap year. So during that year, super rough pa ng journey ko. As in, like I had thoughts na baka burden na ako sa family and friends ko, ganon. Until I got so tired of my depressive, manic, and seizure episodes. Kaya I contacted my friend and she introduced me to the Word of God. And things got really lighter ever since then kasi sinasurrender ko na talaga everything to the Lord. Pero syempre, there are still times naman na mahirap pa rin. Pero ayun, looking back talaga, sobrang laki na ng progress ko. Even my family and friends would say that, and I'm very proud of that. So, all glory and praise to the Lord talaga. So, ayun. Go, Gela.
Okay. Ako naman, ever since I was a child, I think there have been a lot of signs already. But then I was just diagnosed last 2018. I was in college, and it was the worst ever. I thought I hit rock bottom, but that time, that was really the worst. I also had hallucinations. Before din ako na-diagnose ng seizure disorder. It was at first anxiety disorder with psychotic features. And then I had MRI and stuff. And then, yun, sabi nila it's seizure. And then in 2019, something really bad happened. So I was diagnosed with PTSD as well. So right now, compared to before, I'm feeling so much better. I just took a break for 5 months from work. And right now I'm feeling, I just posted something that where I said, now I know how happiness feels like. Before I really did not, even if it's just so mainstream to say.
All right.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you. Thank you so much for sharing that, Nicole and Angela. It's nice to see na it's getting better right now, and hopefully it keeps continuing to being better. So
thank you.
yeah.
Thank you.
If I may ask, Nick and Gela, do you experience any challenges or difficulties with your daily activities, and what do you do to overcome them if there are any?
Nikki, go first.
Ay, sige. Ako na.
You can go first all the time. Go
Sige,
lang.
sige. Ako yung constant fear of discrimination. Tapos meron din yung na magsi-seizure episodes ako kasi school year, diba? So, dahil sa seizure episodes ko, tapos magkakaroon ako ng temporary amnesia right after. Nagkakaroon ako ng backlogs, and meron pang isang beses na nakamiss ako ng deadline. Kasi hindi ako nag-grant ng extension. So, I got really sad, yun nun. Tapos, yung isa pang challenge ko, yung ayoko talaga maging burden to those around me. Ayun.
Okay, ako naman, it's just mostly overthinking a lot of things and not having motivation on a lot of days. Right now, I feel a lot better, like I said, but lalo na before, I would just really lie down on my bed, not even wanting to stand up anymore or talk to anyone. Alam mo yun, gusto mo nang kausap, pero ayaw mo din. You don't have the energy just to talk even. Ayun, parang ganon. Those were the worst. I could not fight those things. So, sa school, before nung nag-school pa ako, parang I couldn't even go to school. So, yung mga academics ko, napapabayaan ko din. And then, I joined a team. I was part of the Dragon Boat team and DLSU. Kaya lang, nag-quit din ako. Di naman nag-quit, pero nawala ako after a year or two. So, yun. Even at work, ganun din. Yun, those are the challenges.
And those feelings are super valid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you.
All right. So hopefully, like you don't hopefully you're able to cope with these better in the future. And so with these said now, what do you think are the misconceptions that you have experienced or observed regarding the definition of the term PWD?
Is it me? I think Nick is frozen. Ako na lang muna.
All right.
So yeah, the misconceptions, especially when I buy my medicine and minsan sa fast food, if I use my PWD ID, it's usually, they think na dapat kita mo siya, like physical, or parang hindi ka makausap ng maayos. Like, sometimes when I give my PWD ID, other people adjust for me, as in, natatouch ako, they like try to speak slower kasi nakasulat mental disability. But it's not like that, diba? It's not always like that. At yung iba naman nagpaparinig, like, bakit ka may PWD ID, ganon. So, I think they feel like dapat physical aspect lang yung pagiging PWD there.
Yeah, I agree with Gela. Kasi kapag, let's say, bili ako ng meds ko, tas nakapila rin ako, kaya sa grocery, ganyan. Parang, ako mismo yung na-conscious kasi nabobother ako na ang daming nakatingin sa akin. So parang ako, para lang mapakita ako kung bakit ako sa priority lane. Parang kailangan ko pang ilabas yung booklet, pati yung ID ko. Kasi bakit parang kailangan ba nakikita niyo disability ko, ganun. Ayun.
Although for beds, I think it's really needed yung booklet and
Yeah.
also for necessities, 'di ba?
Mm.
Ayun, pero yung sa fast food, like bakit naman kailangan niya mang-judge?
Mm.
I thank you for sharing that. Yeah, I agree nga na sometimes people may forget na there's PWD as a bigger spectrum, and
Yeah.
that it also includes mental disorders and the like. So, with that said, on the topic on PWD IDs, what are your thoughts on those who are able to get we could say fake PWD IDs to gain the benefits that these offer?
Mhm.
Good.
Sige, me first. Nakakainis. Nakakainis. Those people who get fake PWD IDs, why are you doing that? It's like you're stealing from other people, right? It's indirectly stealing from other people, and you're not being honest. You're trying to trick other people just to get your discount. And then also, yung mga gumagawa ng ID, why do you do that? Maybe you get a little bit of money, but you can get that from other more honest jobs, di ba? Bakit naman manloloko pa kayo ng iba? I know people who have fake IDs. I tell them, gupitin nyo na yan. Pero wala eh. I can't control their lives. So, ayun. Anyway. Next.
Ako honestly, hindi ko alam na meron pala mga fake PWD IDs. Kasi like, bakit? Bakit mga
Yeah.
kailanganin, di ba? Ayun, sobrang nagulat ako na na-break up to kasi hindi ko talaga alam, hindi ako aware na may ganun pala.
Madami. Even on my videos on TikTok, people actually comment na may kakilala din sila. So, it's madami pala. Mga kuripot lang siguro.
Alright, thank you for sharing that. So, as a follow-up lang to that, like, if you could tell these people one thing about what they're doing, what would it be?
Just
Stop
go.
it. Stop it. Kasi hindi lang naman, yes, nakaka-benefit kayo. Pero paano naman yung ibang PWD na nadjudge dahil sa inyo? Na kayo, nakaka-benefit kayo, tapos yung mga ibang tao, hayaan nyo na lang na ginaganon kami. Why do that? And also, why steal from other people? May nag-comment sa isa kong video na it's not daw yung business yung nanakawan. It's from tax daw. But still, that's the people's money. Why would you want to get that? Right? Ayun. Yun.
Yeah. Actually, kahit niloloko mo yung iba, parang mas niloloko mo yung sarili mo. No? Kasi, bakit? Ayun eh. Parang niloloko mo talaga yung sarili mo nun. Bakit mo kailangan ma-portray ng ibang identity kung hindi naman pala talaga hindi ka pala talaga ganun.
Yeah, that's very understandable. I really like how you pointed out yung parang it's stealing identity. Parang it's not your identity, so why would you do that? So like super
Yeah.
agree with that. Moving on to the online space, how have you used social media to share your story?
Ako I took the opportunity and ginagawa ko pa rin naman to use social media as a platform to raise awareness and to share my story kasi I believe that every story, that every life is inspirational. It's a matter of sharing your special experiences with others, which either be learning experiences, motivational experiences, or probably a combination of both. So either way, you're helping others when you share your story, diba? And this is an amazing way to connect with others and spread mental health awareness in the process. Ayun.
Exactly. Yeah. Ako naman on TikTok, I just started a few months ago. Actually, yung nag-viral na video is about dun sa PWD awareness because may nang bastos. I mean, hindi siya nag-ask actually, nagparinig siya. So I was just like, okay, why not tell other people about this? And then, a lot of people can relate pala. And then, after that, a lot of people were asking, ano yung disorders ko? Why am I a PWD? I don't look like a PWD. Someone pointed out na hindi natin dapat yung ginagamit yung mukhang PWD na word, na term, kasi wala namang mukhang PWD talaga. And that person is right. So anyway, ayun, I use my platform to lend an ear to other people. Kasi alam kong madaming tao na maraming pinagdadaanan pero walang makausap. Sometimes we just need someone to listen to us. And that's what I do when I do TikTok lives. Sometimes I just eat and then tell me something you want to get off your chest. And then I give them advice or maybe just, listen. Ayun, that's how I do it.
I love that. I love that you create like a space where people are like safe and can like talk about their thoughts. Super love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
That means thank you for sharing that. So if you're
Thank you.
comfortable, would you like to share any specific posts that you have shared recently regarding your experiences?
Go, Nick.
Ako, actually, wala pa pero nagpo-post kasi ako, part ako ng CDI, at Neo CDI, so yung Commission on Disability Inclusion. So, majority ng post ko ng recently, puro awareness tungkol doon. Pero yung personal, actually gusto ko talaga mag-post ng vlog na meron akong attack. Kasi like, yun yung way ko talaga para mag-raise awareness na kung paano ko malalaman kung pag-seizure ako, ganyan. Tapos na gusto ko na nilalapitan ako ng dogs ko kapag pina-atake ako, ganyan. Pero meron pa rin sa akin yung constant fear na baka ma-judge ako ng mga tao. So, sabi nga ni Gela, kapag ready na talaga ako, kapag decided na ako, tapos buo ako, talaga, saka ako i-post. Kasi mahirap Ang daming magsasalita against you. And may times na kahit sobrang ganda ng self-esteem mo, madadown ka pa rin. Yun.
Tama yun. Tama yun. You wait for the time when you're really ready. Oo, may kaka-doubts pa rin tayo. But when you can take the opinions of other people, you know how to filter them out na. Ayan. Okay, what was the question again? Sorry.
Would you like to share any specific posts that you have shared recently?
Oh, yeah. Recently I posted something about suicidal thoughts. Not really, pero maybe about depression. Mostly about depression. So I just posted a short video of myself. Wala lang, I was happy. I was taking a video of myself. I'm really camera shy. I don't like that. Pero ayun, I posted myself there and then nakalagay lang, if you're feeling down today, I just want to tell you that 2 months ago, I wasn't eating right, something like that. Mga 1 bag of chips a day lang because I couldn't even stand up from my bed or something like that. And then at the end, I just said na it might be hard to believe right now, but it will get better for you. Because I say that because I know I've experienced it. It was so bad before. And right now, I feel so good. Like, yun nga, I feel happiness right now and I know how it feels. So I say that because I want other people to know that there is hope. There's gonna be something better for you in the future. You just have to wait and work on yourself. Ayan.
I agree. Tapos to add pala, meron pala akong naging TikTok post. Like, kasi nagka-trend yung I can't give up cause ganyan. Tapos meron kong reasons. So, yung naging reasons ko doon yung family, ganyan, yung dogs ko, yung pamangkin ko. Tapos, ang saya pala na ma-realize mo na meron ka palang reasons to continue. Kasi dati, nung tinatamaan ako ng depression, sabi ko, wala nang pag-asa, wala nang rason kung magpatuloy, no? So, nung na-realize ko yun, sabi ko, ang dami pa palang rason. Kaya, sobrang nakagaan din ng puso yung ganun. Tapos, lalo pa nung may nag-comment dun sa post ko na, I'm proud of you, ganyan. So, nakakaaliw lang din talaga na mayroong mga tao na kahit mayroong mga nagsasalita ng masasama tungkol sa mga PWDs, meron pa rin yung mga sinasalo ka, gano'n. And ready to defend you, gano'n.
Thank you for sharing your personal experiences. Super love that you create like an environment where people can relate to one another and give people reasons to keep smiling.
Yeah.
So, with that said, do you think the media contributes to educating or miseducating the public?
Both?
Wait lang. Sorry. Ako muna.
Yeah, go.
Okay, sige. So, meron kasing changes na tingin kong kailangan talagang mangyari. Kahit lalo sa social media. Kasi mental illness affects people of all ages and backgrounds, diba? And addressing the symptoms that may signify a problem can lead to a successful treatment. So when mental illnesses remains untreated, diba, yung symptoms nun mag-worsen and magkakaroon ng negative impact sa well-being ng isang tao. So therefore, I believe that everyone should be able to express themselves freely without the fear of being judged. Kasi yun yung minsan na pumipigil sa mga tao to share their stories. Ayun. Nasagot ko ba yung question? Sorry. Nasagot ko.
Yep.
Bakit naman? Okay, so for me naman, role of media in educating or educating people, both for sure. Siguro, depende na lang din sa tao yun. Kasi social media is just there for you to scroll, diba? Scroll ka lang when you're bored, when you don't have anything to do. But yung tao, I feel like you have to know how to filter fake news and do your own research. That's what's important. Kasi kung ano makita mo sa social media, that doesn't matter if you know how to do your own research, diba? So, well, just to answer your question, yun nga, both. It does educate a lot of people, especially yung mga ganito na we do podcasts like this or yung mga TikTok or whatever that is na may information. But, of course, di maiwasan na may mali doon or di maiwasan na merong sariling interpretations yung nandun. So, you have to know how to gather information, your own information, and that person's information para you have your own insight, diba? Your own values, diba? Parang ganun.
Yeah, super understand with regards to media being like, it's so easy to scroll through like social media like Facebook, Instagram, yeah. So with regards to that, do you have any piece of advice for creators and viewers with regards to media? Kahit like phrase lang.
The thing with addressing mental health problems kasi, diba, parang it needs more sunlight. So, yun sa social media, yun talaga yung platform eh. Magandang platform siya and to raise awareness nga, tapos to add more sunlight. So, we have to engage in unshame conversations as this will help in breaking the stigma sa mental health issues. So, ayun, kahit, like, through messenger, ganyan, please do check on your loved ones. Kahit, sa loved ones mo, pero more importantly, check on yourselves din. Kasi, how can you be a friend talaga nandyan talaga, ng buo ka, nang ikaw mismo hindi mo pa nasasalo yung sarili mo. So, ayun.
For me, respect yourself and other people because after respect comes a lot of things. It comes with being open-minded. It comes with widening your understanding with a lot of things. And also loving yourself because when you respect something or someone, you also love that person. You do things to make that person happy or, things like that. So, ayun, respect. Always respect and kindness.
Thank you so much, Nicole and Angela, for sharing that with us. I really appreciate the insights that you have shared and the advice you have for creators and the public. And hopefully this podcast, they're able to hear what you guys have said and hopefully take into account the pieces of advice that you've given. So, given your personal experiences, what changes do you think needs to happen with issues concerning people with non-apparent disabilities? So it can be again about online means or like face-to-face experiences.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Sorry.
Yung first part lang.
Yeah, like given your personal experiences, what changes do you think needs to happen with issues concerning people with non-apparent disabilities?
I just really think that people should educate themselves, learn how to educate themselves, and learn how to educate other people nicely and respectfully. Because when you try to just answer someone, they tend to get offended immediately and tend to not listen. Listening is different from hearing, right? So when we try to educate other people, if we have the time and the energy to go ahead, but make sure that you do it nicely. Hindi yung sisigawan mo sila or you just basta ang dami mo lang sinasabi sa kanila. That's not gonna do anything. If you don't have the time and the energy, just don't shout them. Leave na lang. Hayaan mo na yun, day na yun. But on the days that you can, do it with respect also and kindness for other people. Kasi minsan, di lang nila naintindihan. Yan.
And mahirap, no? Kahit like, i-educate mo minsan yung mga tao with respect, meron pa rin yung mga tao na hindi talaga willing makinig or like ma-educate sila. So, ang hirap mahirap talaga siya. Pero, yung ganitong opportunities, like yung podcast na to, malaking bagay to for us. Kasi, grabe ginagawa niyo para sa amin yung awareness. Like, ang laking tulong talaga nito. So, thank you, Speed. Ayun.
Thank you so much for sharing. So, with the importance of like education in mind, like, do you have any resources that you may suggest the public can use to help educate themselves now?
A lot of things on the internet you can find, but mostly, of course, try to find books that you're interested in. Wala naman akong books na pwedeng i-recommend. I don't read books, but I do watch a lot of movies, ganon. And I do my own, maybe, research sa mga journal articles, and I also studied psych, so ayun.
Nasabi na ni Gela. Yun ko.
Alright. Thank you so much for sharing again. So, after all of these experiences and stories that you have, what would you like to give as a final message to those listening to our conversation right now? So, you can tell another story, or you can also include like a quote or like the best piece of advice that motivates you.
Okay. Nick, you wanna go first?
Ikaw muna. Napapaisip ako.
Sige. I'll read you my lock screen kasi naisip ko to when I saw this post by my aunt. Actually, nagti-TikTok rin siya. She has a lot of followers. The question was, if you were to go back in time, what would you want to say to the child version of you? This is my answer. Kakayak. The joke lang. You are not weak. The pain may not end, but you'll keep going. Don't let the world change your heart. If you know your heart is good, don't let the world change your heart. Keep doing what you're doing. Because that's life. People will do a lot of things, but you just keep doing what you're doing.
Okay, pwede po ulit yung question, sorry.
Yeah, sure, no problem. Okay, so after sharing your experiences and stories, like, what would you like to give as a final message or piece of advice to people listening to our conversation? So it can be a quote or another like story that really impacted you.
Okay, thank you. Ito, kasi naging like, I served sa national team and Asian triathlon team. And yung times na super dinadoubt ko yung sarili ko or yung capabilities ko, kung kaya ko ba yung race na to, ganyan. Palaging sinasabi sa akin ng kuya ko na siya rin kasi yung coach ko, sinasabi niya sa akin na, if you think you can or you can't, you're probably right. Kasi diba, yung unang-unang bago ka gumawa ng action, nasa utak mo yan eh. So, always believe in yourself lang, guys. Kasi may mga taong naniniwala sa inyo. So, why not believe in yourself? Ayun.
Thank you so much, Angela and Nicole. Really heartfelt quotes and pieces of advice that really touch us, not just me, but hopefully people that are listening to this podcast right now. So thank you so much for sharing that with us today and the conversations that we've also shared previously. So, yes, Camilla.
And that officially concludes the second episode of Speak Out 2021. Thank you, Gela and Nick, for taking the time to join us and for speaking out in this podcast. Your stories continue to help spread awareness about the sector and the goal of inclusivity. Thank you as well to the listeners, and we hope everyone learned valuable insights and enjoyed as much as we did. Lastly, we would like to thank our partners for this project, Hands on Inclusion Filipinas, Kahit Ateneo, and SMART.
Yes, Camilla. So, we hope you continue to support our next episodes by following our social media platforms at Ateneo Speed for for Facebook and Twitter, and at AteneaSpeed_ for Instagram. Moreover, we are simultaneously having another project called Spinoff, which you can take a look at by following our FB page at speed.spectrum. Spinoff is a project that aims to empower PWD-owned businesses, and we would love it if you guys could check it out and support it as well.
That's it from us. We are your hosts, Camilla, coffee lover, and smooth as butter.
And Whammy, sometimes corny. Oh no, sometimes funny, but mostly just corny.
And we look forward to seeing you guys again soon for the third episode of Speak Out.